What's up, ladies and genitals? Today's video is going to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more casual. I just want to run through for some very brief TA with Ethereum and Bitcoin, kind of update you guys on the state of the market. I also want to talk about the Polkadot ecosystem and some of the opportunity there. Also just mention NFTs and kind of my long-term outlook on investing in cryptocurrency and kind of niches and themes I choose to invest in the importance with that. And also just some important resources. So folks, if you like the sound of that, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon and notify new uploads, because I'll tell you why. I absolutely hate that I sound like a YouTuber, folks. I never thought I'd be doing this, but look, hey, it's a job, right? We all got a day job. This is mine, so I really appreciate it. I got to put out the spiel. I got a list here that I got to say some stuff. So like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. So let's delve into today's video. So I've been saying the last few days, I tweeted it out. I've been talking in our Discord that I saw Ethereum forming this diamond pattern. Now, we tried to break out. Unfortunately, it was a fake out and we got rejected exactly where expected. And now we seem to be breaking down from our diamond, which is very bearish, because whenever we're having a diamond pattern here, and whenever we break out, typically we'll break out the height of the diamond here. So, I drew just this yellow line here representing the height of this diamond and just cloned it with these two lines here. So if you would have broken out bullishly, I think would have retesting all-time highs in 2080 made a lot of sense. But we didn't do that. We seem to be breaking down. But as long as we can maintain above 1740 to about 1750, I still think we're okay, and that we could just move sideways within the channel. Maybe this diamond isn't so valid. Maybe what's more valid is maybe just like a sideways moving channel. So as long as we're maintaining above 1740 to 1750, I think we're still okay. This is a very price reactive zone everywhere we see. And also, you could just kind of say 1720. I don't like making these ranges too wide because I want to be more accurate, but ultimately 1720 to 1750 is the key range that we need to maintain above. Everywhere you look, we can see we've reacted off that range. It's a very price reactive range, 1720 to 1750. So as long as Ethereum maintains above that, I'm still confident that we can remain short-term bullish, or at the very least not collapse in the short term. If we start to break down below these key levels, 1750, 1740, 1720, then I think falling back down to kind of mid 1500s, I'd say about 1550 to about 1500 is probably where we're going to with our next leg down here. So folks, as well, I always kind of try and mention the Ethereum Bitcoin pairings. Okay, it's very good for understanding hidden bullish and bearish divergence. So we're within this range. We're likely to see a breakout soon. Whatever way we break out of this range will be very telling for understanding what way Ethereum breaks out. And folks, we've been reacting beautifully off my wedge and my pitchfork that we've drawn. Messin loves it when I draw these pitchforks. He says it all the time how much he loves seeing these pitchforks. Also, by the way, thank you for everyone who's reached out and asked, is Messin okay? Where is he? The search teams did locate Messin. He was in France. Unfortunately, we've lost contact and we still cannot find him. All your thoughts and prayers are very much appreciated. Let us know in the comments below, where is Messin? For those who don't know, me and Messin, we run this channel together. No, folks, we'll be seeing, all jokes aside, we'll be seeing more of Messin here in the near future. I'll let him say what's kind of going on. I'll let him say his 2 cents, but we're gonna be seeing more of him in the future here. I'm very glad to have him on board. We're gonna be killing it, folks. We can't wait to improve the production quality of this channel and do a bunch of more stuff. But anyways, we broke down from this pitchfork here. And I said, as soon as we break down from this pitchfork, we're very likely to retest this green support line and this green line here, which is exactly where we've been reacting off of. Exactly. More so kind of this green horizontal line at 56,300. So as long as, if we start to break down below that, I think a further leg down is probably warranted, especially if, this level right here, because then we're breaking down from this wedge and this pitchfork. So we're getting lots of bearish signals. So typically we'll take the height of the triangle, move to the breakout point. So, could we see a Bitcoin? I say we could probably go down to 57,000, but I'm seeing a lot of support starting to build up at just around 50,000. So honestly, if we break down from here, from 56,300, I think 50,000 is probably the next step, because the next leg down, because we have our Fibonacci 236 level right there, lined up with the macro Fibonacci retracement 236 right there at about 50,000, and it's also price reactive level. We can see how here and here and here and here, 50,000 was here, 50,000, nice price reactive That wasn't even 50,000. 50,000 here and here. It's a nice price reactive level, nice psychological level. There's also, oh, I was gonna say there's a buildup in volume, but there really isn't. But I do think kind of 50,000, a nice psychological level, is probably our next leg down. Honestly, anywhere where these peaks in volume are, we could probably find a leg of support. So 51,500 to about 51,000, or sorry, 50,800, and then 50,000. Probably those three legs of support if we cannot hold this area here. Now, folks, I want to briefly talk about Polkadot and the Polkadot ecosystem. So there's been a lot of hype, a lot of talk about the Cardano, but I think people are really sleeping on Polkadot and the Polkadot ecosystem. The Polkadot ecosystem is far ahead of Cardano and the Cardano ecosystem. There's already lots of projects built on the Polkadot system already out there doing a lot of stuff. And folks, I want to briefly mention how the Polkadot system works and why the coins within the system are so interesting. So what makes Polkadot projects interoperable and scalable? That is, let's try and answer that question. It's getting a parachain slot or getting access to a pair thread. Getting a parachain slot is what gives a project access to the rest of the Polkadot ecosystem and makes things interoperable and scalable. Projects can also piggyback on the Polkadot ecosystem for a lot of their security features as well in bringing consensus to their network. So this is kind of how the Polkadot ecosystem's architecture plays out. And if we can see here, this is kind of what a parachain looks like. You see that kind of that pink box right here. These are the parachains. So getting a parachain slot is what allows you to be interoperable with the entirety of the Polkadot ecosystem. And so the way parachain slots work is that there will be auctions happening. And so these different Polkadot projects apply for a parachain slot or a parathread slot through staking or Kusama. So that's another factor why I think the DOT token and Kusama is so interesting, because in order to be interoperable within their ecosystem, you have to stake DOT, you have to or Kusama. That's a bit of utility and functionality that I don't see happening in the Cardano ecosystem. I mean, I know Cardano has other utility, bringing staking and bringing consensus to the network, but I think Polkadot, the DOT token and the Kusama token itself, have just an added layer of utility that's missing in the Cardano ecosystem that's extremely compelling. And the reason why I want to talk about Kusama specifically is because, folks, Kusama is different than the other Polkadot projects. Kusama is essentially a layer on top of the Polkadot architecture and its ecosystem. It's not just like another project that's plugging into a parachain. And by the way, parachains work, so you have to apply. There's an auction. You may or not get in. You have to stake either Kusama or Polkadot, and it works like on a lease, where if you get the if you apply for the auction, you get it for either 2 years or in 6-month increments. But enough of that. That's basically how parachains work. But Kusama is very interesting because it's basically a layer. It's the canary network. It's a layer on top of the Polkadot ecosystem. It's essentially where all the newest improvements to the Polkadot ecosystem go first. And so the reason why I like Kusama so much is because it essentially does a lot of what Polkadot does, except it has a much lower supply and a much lower market cap. So I like Polkadot. It's very interesting. Its token has an added layer of utility because you need to stake it in order to get access to those parachains. Very interesting utility, very interesting architecture, very interesting tokenomics. But let's look at the market cap, 36 billion. Let's look at the supply, over 1 billion. Let's look at Kusama, which has a very similar function to Polkadot. It's a layer on top of the Polkadot ecosystem. It does a lot of the same things. But look at the supply, 10 million supply, 3 billion market cap. Folks, 36 million market cap, 3.6 billion market cap. 1 billion supply, 10 million supply. Kusama does a lot of similar things to Polkadot, except it has a much lower market cap and a much lower supply. That's why I've recently sold all my Polkadot for about a 290% ROI and moved it all into Kusama. Folks, I really, really wish, I heard tons of people talking, singing Kusama's praises, and I really wish I would have listened to them and done more research earlier. But, better late than never. I still think Kusama has a great future, because if you like Polkadot, you should love Kusama. It does a very similar thing, much lower supply, much lower market cap. If you're interested in getting into the Polkadot ecosystem, I think while Polkadot is great, I think Kusama has a higher ROI potential at this point. That's why I sold all my Polkadot to move into Kusama. So that's just kind of briefly explain what's going on. Now let's briefly explain, just very briefly. I don't want to hover on this too long. Just some major support levels, areas that I might look to buy into. Now, we're getting rejected off kind of like this 420 level. So let's say we continue to find rejection. I think we're probably going to find a leg of support at around 380. So that's probably where I would begin to start dollar cost averaging my way into Kusama, because sure, we might correct further, but then we might not too, right? Like, we've been absolutely exploding. Look at this chart, folks. This is so hard to do TA on. It's a straight line up. Let's zoom out here. How do you do TA on a straight line up? Yeah, I can bust out the pitchforks, yeah, I can bust out the fib levels, but look, point being, Kusama's been killing it, and I think it's going to continue to kill it. So if we fall back down to kind of like this 380-ish level, I'm definitely looking to buy more into Kusama. And then aside from that, taking the macro Fibonacci retracement from the macro bottom to the macro top, just wherever the 236. Let's say we ever fall back down to 320, 330. That's where the 236 Fibonacci level, one of our first layers of support, build up in volume at around 330, 320, and also a lot of sideways price action. So if we ever fell back down, 335, 330, 320, that's definitely where I'd be looking to accumulate some Kusama. And again, we could always fall further. You can pause the video. These are the different support levels that I think are the most relevant. So that's what I'm looking out for in terms of Kusama. Now, folks, let's take a moment to talk about briefly the NFT market. But before we move on to the NFTs, let's just very briefly mention the dollar index and Bitcoin dominance, because this is going to be very good gauges of understanding when we could see big moves with the market. The DXY almost has an exact inverse correlation with Bitcoin. Typically speaking, whenever DXY rises, Bitcoin falls. Whenever DXY falls, Bitcoin rises. So there's almost a direct inverse correlation. So if we see this continue to fall, the DXY, for those who don't know, is the dollar index, the value of the dollar. Nothing's fundamentally changed to make the dollar stronger. So I think it's just a matter of time before we go for that leg down. If we see that leg down continue to manifest and to continue to happen, that's going to be another factor that helps Bitcoin continue to see growth. Now, Bitcoin dominance is a very good gauge of the state of the altcoin market. Because for those who don't know, for those who've been watching the channel, say it with me. For those who don't know, Bitcoin dominance is the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrency. Whenever it rises, altcoins typically benefit. Whenever it falls, altcoins typically suffer. So we've been stuck between this very important range, about 65%, 60% in Bitcoin dominance. Whenever it is that we see a daily candle close below 60% in terms of Bitcoin dominance, I think that is when we see the altcoins truly start to take off. Now, another very interesting thing when it comes to investing in the cryptocurrency space. One thing you can take a look at when it comes to investing, and we're going to talk about these helpful charts here, these helpful resources. You want to look at popular themes. And sorry, this is just taking a moment to load here, folks. You want to look at popular themes within the cryptocurrency space, because whatever projects are within those niches, those themes, what are the most popular themes, popular niches, popular categories within crypto? Those are the things that are likely to continue to do well over the long term. What are the most popular ones? DeFi, and right now, NFTs. NFTs are super, super hot. And one project that me and Messi, we both really like, we've both been accumulating, is Bondly. I like this project a lot. They're partnering with a lot of normies, a lot of influencers. Any project that's onboarding newbies and the normies and people who aren't hardcore crypto people, I'm very bullish on. They've been succeeding, and they still have a low-ish market cap. $75 million market cap. I think anything below 100 million is kind of a low market cap. So, when it comes to where do you park your money in crypto, I think one important thing, one way you can filter out between all your choices, is looking at DeFi and looking at NFTs and looking at what projects have a good chance of doing very well over the long term. And I think Bondly is one of those. And I think Bondly is very, very interesting right now, because I believe it's forming a descending channel, which after a macro impulse, this could be a bull flag. So if we start to break above and hold above these two red resistance lines based off these two wicks, just extend a resistance level based off this wick in these candle bodies, just extend a resistance level, we can see how we've kind of been reacting off these levels. Maybe not so much. I don't know how relevant they are, but I do think that we kind of do seem to be, this does look to me like a downward moving channel. And so this could be a bull flag. So what a bull flag is, we have a massive macro impulse. We move downward in a channel. And if we break out bullishly and hold above the top red resistance sign of the channel, then we'll typically move the length of the initial impulse up. So if we can break above this level here and get above this key a spike in volume above 58 cents, really 60 cents because it's a nice psychological level, and then get above this region of 67 cents because that's where the last large spike in volume is 67 cents. As soon as we get above and hold 67 cents, I think that is when we truly take off. And based off the length of the initial impulse, if we move it to the breakout point, presuming it's here, or maybe it's a little bit lower, maybe it's later, could we see a Bondly at over $1.20? I definitely think something like that is possible. So if we want to see bullish continuation, we need to get above that key spike in volume, 58 cents. If we get above that, I think it makes it more likely that we see bullish continuation. If we get above 67 cents, I think it makes it even more likely that we see that bullish continuation. And obviously these fib levels here are going to act as resistance. Folks, whenever you want to draw a Fibonacci extension here, for those who don't know, a Fibonacci extension gives you some support and resistance levels that are likely to be valid whenever you're like exploding or just whenever really. So you take the macro low point of the impulse to the macro height of the impulse, and then the macro, the lowest point of the retracement, and that gives you some fib levels that are likely to be relevant. So that's what I'm looking out for in terms of Bondly. If we break out bullishly, I think $1.20 is probably our short-term price target. So I like Bondly. I like the NFT space. It's kind of low capper. They're doing a lot of interesting stuff. So that's why I like Bondly. Now, folks, I want to give you the opportunity to talk to you guys about some very helpful resources that we check upon regularly to kind of understand the state of the market. Token Metrics, folks. We are partnered with Token Metrics. We use them regularly. They're an AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform. So this is what Token Metrics thinks are going to be the top projects when it comes to investing on a year-long horizon. Things like Elrond, Chainlink, Synthetics, and these change all the time. And you could switch between quarterly, and they have a bunch of different, They have a bunch of different sections, and you could even look up price predictions for different projects here. So I like Token Metrics a lot. One thing that I really like about them is they'll send you code reviews on different projects. So given folks, I look at so many different altcoins every single day, and getting those code reviews I do find very helpful because it helps to kind of sort through and filter through all the different things there are to look at, because there's thousands of altcoins. What do you look at? I find those code reviews very helpful because they score these different projects based off these different criteria. And so if you want to gain access to Token Metrics, link for that down in the description below. You'll get 10% off, I think, using our link. Regardless, folks, highly recommended if you can spare it. Now my Wi-Fi seems to be very slow right now, but that's okay. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to the price predictions to show you what it's all about. But let's take a moment to look at some very helpful on-chart indicators that have been historically very good for timing local cycle tops and bottoms. So I like Glassnode here. They have some very helpful charts. And look at the net unrealized profit and loss chart. This has been a good chart that historically is very closely timed local tops and cycle tops. So if and when we enter this blue euphoria zone, essentially means that too many people have made too much money too fast, and the growth is unsustainable, and has historically done a pretty good job of calling local cycle tops and bottoms. So whenever we enter this blue euphoria zone, that could be some take profit. If you've done a 2x, or 3x, a 5x, a 10x, maybe you take a little bit of profit. I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice. It's just one data point, but one very helpful data point that historically has been pretty on the ball. So if anything interesting ever happens with this, we'll definitely be talking about it on this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon, notified new uploads, because you don't have to buy Glassnode. You can just stay tuned to this channel, and we'll just tell you anytime anything interesting happens, we'll just bring it up on the channel. So stay tuned, folks. Same with the realized hodl ratio, just another good chart that's good for timing cycle and local tops with Bitcoin, at least historically. So until Bitcoin enters this red range here, I'm not worried about any kind of correction, because we got plenty of bull run ahead of us, folks. And just to kind of hover on the state of the market for a second here, look, the Americans have been printing money like crazy. The dollar, the global reserve currency, the US dollar, is being devalued at a rate that we've never seen before. The world needs stores of value, and the normies are the legacy markets, are the stock people. They're just waking up to this fact. And so, folks, I don't believe we've seen anything yet. Cryptocurrency typically moves in these 4-year cycles, and based off the previous, it's all because of the halvings. Based off the previous halving that we've had, I don't think we're likely to reach some kind of market cycle top until September, October this year. So any of these corrections, folks, when I see these normies panic sell 5, 10, 15% moves, I shed a tear, because I'm like, oh, folks, I don't think this bull run is anywhere near over. Now, look, again, I'm not a financial advisor. You know what's best for yourself. If you feel like you need to take profits, sell, move into stable coins, you do what's best for yourself. But I'm not selling shit until late third quarter, early fourth quarter this year, September, October. I'm holding out. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care if things fall 40%. I'll be panic buying while people are panic selling. So, folks, those are my thoughts. I kind of want to make this a bit of a more loose video, a little bit more casual. I'm sorry for putting this video out so late. Today was kind of a busy day. We were doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, folks. A lot of research. We're making moves. We're making degen moves. I'm very excited to talk to our Discord members about some of the developments in changes in our approach when it comes to research and investing in low caps. We were supposed to have a coin call with our Discord members tonight. I don't think we're gonna do that tonight. I'm sorry, guys, because we'll see. Well, I'm gonna talk to Messi and see what he's saying, but we've been very busy. But we're gonna have that soon, sometime during the week. If we don't have it this week, and if we don't do it tonight, we're gonna have it sometime during the week, because we want to catch up our Discord members to a lot of the most important things on our minds right now. Just kind of update people on the state of the market, and the kind of research and the degenerate things we're doing when it comes to low cap investing, and just answer some questions. So, folks, join our Discord. Link for that down in the description below. Stay tuned to this channel, and if you like what we do and you want to support us, join our Patreon. Link for that down in the description below. Folks, I saw recently, I think we have like 46, 49 Patreon members. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Thank you so much to everyone who supports us in whatever way they can in our Patreon members. Wow, thank you so much, folks. We're gonna be giving away a hardware wallet once we hit 100 Patreon members. So, folks, if you want to support us, join our Patreon. You'll get access to our VIP Discord group where we talk about low cap gems before anyone else sees them. And there's one low cap. Oh, folks, I can't wait to tell you guys what we're up to. There's one low cap that I'm super excited about. We've been making moves in order to get allocation to that. A lot of interesting things to update you guys on. So yeah, we talk about low cap gems, interesting setups, very helpful resources, and we talk to all our Discord members regularly. So join our Discord, join our VIP Discord, link for that down in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. That is enough of my ramblings, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.